Good morning, friends. Prepared Suburbanite back at you. Well, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant today with today's topic. And this is inspired by an opinion piece done by David Hanson, who I think is probably one of the most renowned conservative thinkers that's around today. He's almost as good as Charles Krauthammer, and Victor Davis Hanson is seen in a lot of different places, but his opinion piece that appeared on Fox News a few days ago really tells a story. It's entitled 11 Ways Biden and His Handlers Are Hell-Bent on Destroying America. So stick around, I'll get into some detail. So he's got 11 different ways that Biden and his handlers, which is pretty much anybody in the Democrat Party, are hell-bent on destroying America. And this pathway shouldn't be it should be very familiar by now if you've been paying attention to the news. So, number one on his list, wipe out a 2,000-mile border. Allow 10 million foreign nationals to enter the country unlawfully. Have no audit. Nullify federal immigration laws, let toxic drugs kill 100,000 Americans a year, give free support to those millions who broke the law, smear any objectors as racists and xenophobes. Yep, sounds familiar to me. Number two, run up $35 trillion in debt. And add $1 trillion every 100 days. Number three, appease or subsidize enemies like Iran and China. Demonize allies like Israel. Allow terrorists to attack Americans without a response. In a multiracial democracy, this is number four, redefine identity only as one's tribal affiliation. Ensure each identity group rivals the other for victimhood and the state spoils it confers. Reboot all political issues by race and sex oppressors and the oppressed. Destroy all merit-based standards of admission, retention, promotion, and commendation. I think we're seeing that very frequently. Number five, recalibrate violent crime as understandable. Give the cry of the heart expressions of social justice. Ensure that there's no bail and same-day release for the arrested and repeat violent felons. Emphasize with the violent killer and rapist. Ignore their victims, especially if they are slain police officers. Tell me that none of this is familiar to you, right? Yeah. Number six, emasculate the military by using non-meritocratic standards of race, gender, and sexual orientation to determine promotions and commendations. Reinvent the justice system. Number seven, to indict, bankrupt, convict, jail, and eliminate political opponents. I think that's pretty evident everywhere we turn. Number eight, encourage the fusion of the bureaucratic state with electronic media to form a powerful force for political audit, surveillance, censorship, and coercion. Number nine, make war on affordable gasoline and natural gas. Substitute Inefficient and unreliable and expensive wind and solar power, even as energy prices nearly bankrupt the middle class. Number 10, marry late, but preferably not at all. Consider all males toxic, especially young boys. Have no children or as few as possible. Otherwise, assure children are entitled and must be sheltered. Raise them to have grievances against past generations and our current norms. And number 11, turn world-class universities into indoctrination centers. Suspend the Bill of Rights on campuses, train the youth to graduate despising their own culture and civilization. Recruit foreign students from hostile nations to subsidize campus commissar bloat. Replace the curriculum with therapeutic propaganda. Ban the SAT and ACT, and do not evaluate comparative high school GPAs. Ensure merit does not select the student body. Charge tuition higher than the rate of inflation, and bill the government when students default on their loans. Those are at least 11 of probably multitudes of activities that our current administration, the Biden administration, his handlers, and pretty much the entire Democrat Party. I was very disheartened to read this article just the other day, and I've been thinking about it pretty much every day. And here I am sharing it with you, hoping that you can get something out of this so that we can stand together and fight this onslaught of tearing our country apart. There was another article this morning on Breitbart News on their website, and I'll put the heading up here. There's a poll. Most Biden voters are voting against Trump rather than for Biden. So that speaks volumes, I think. And it gets back to a number of the things that Victor David Hanson mentioned in his opinion piece on Fox News. But the results were this, that 52% of the registered Democrats, registered to vote Democrats, said that they were voting against Trump. Only 46% said that they were voting for and in favor of Biden. That doesn't speak very well of what's going on with the general psyche here. I believe that a lot of these folks that are voting against Trump, the registered Democrats that have come right out and said, I'm voting against Trump, and it doesn't matter who the Democrat candidate really is. I'm just voting against Trump. I suspect that these folks are getting their news from The View, or MSNBC, or NBC, or CBS, or ABC, or NPR. They certainly don't have a well-rounded world view of what's really going on. This morning, the CPI numbers came out, and inflation has taken another kick upwards, and the stock market has reacted in its typical fashion by shedding an awful lot of value from the Dow, from the Standard & Poor's Index, and from the NASDAQ. And God knows what the day's going to hold out. By the end of the day, we'll have to see what happens. But I remain very, very concerned. And here's some thoughts on what I think we should be doing. You ready? We need to make sure that we telegraph what is really going on talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family, and make sure that you are registered to vote. Research your voting history, research the candidates that are on the upcoming ballot, because we've got a third of the Senate. We've got every single House member up for re-election or up for election this time around. And we've obviously got the presidential election. And if 52% of the people out there say they're voting against Donald Trump, they're missing the boat. So what we've got to do is educate, keep whatever format that you've got, whatever platform you've got, use it to get the word out. You can't run, the Democrats can't run on the success of the Biden administration. Whether this is the third term of Obama's administration or not, but we have got to get the word out. We have got to let folks know. We've got to talk it up wherever we can, just to make sure that those folks have the right kind of information in which to base their opinions and their votes on this fall. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always and make sure you get out the vote. I'll see y'all on the next video.